Welcome to another Swim Easy Speed Pro Camp edition. Today we're going to be looking at Lesley Smith. Lesley's a longtime pro and outstanding cyclist and runner, and still looking to improve her swim a little bit. And so she came to the camp, and she actually dropped a good chunk of time while she was here, and we made some really good progress. So I'm just going to let kind of the first part of this video go, and you guys can take a look at her stroke, and then we'll rewind it and start breaking it down. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just kind of back it up here, and we'll start from the beginning and go over what we worked on and why, and where I think she can get better. Okay, so Lesley's got a pretty good movement. She's, you can see that her hips and shoulders are pretty well connected. She's got a nice finish to the stroke. The biggest issue, and again, this is going to be, it gets exaggerated in the endless pool. And some more than with others, but, it's that angle on the water. And, body position is that first thing that we've really got to focus on anytime we get here. And it doesn't look this, she's not this angled down when she's swimming in the pool or when she's swimming in open water. But what the endless pool is doing is, if we've got the current kind of keeping us there in place, some of that current is going over and then pressing the back end down. So what it's doing is it's showing that either one, the lower portion of your body isn't really that connected to your core, or the core isn't strong enough to keep that lower portion of your body up. Either way, we've got to strengthen the core and connect, make that connection to the core even stronger from the lower part of the body. So that's the biggest kind of takeaway that you can usually see first thing from the endless pool when you get in it. But, she's moving pretty well. We'll see kind of on this, the underwater, she's got a pretty good grab on the water. So you can see, even in this position, which you normally don't see, she's got a pretty good line right there where she's setting herself up for a good high elbow catch and then being able to pull herself through the water fairly quickly. And get a good grab on the water. You can see that elbow's staying high, the armpits open there as she pulls through the water and gets a good grab on the water. She's probably looking a little bit too forward right here. She's kind of there. It would probably be better now if this was up and then, kind of maybe looking more about there. So, kind of the water line would be at about the kind of mid-third of her head, top of her head. But here you can see kind of how low kind of her back end is in the water. Some of this was she had done a pretty long bike. I think it was the day before when we did this session. Okay, so here you can see, and this is what we've been seeing with everybody. There we go. There's that kind of classic kind of crossover right there where we're throwing a lot of the momentum that way. You can see the hips going this way. She's got a general just kind of curve in her body. And then you can see kind of the feet come way, way apart to kind of balance for that movement. And then again here with that wide throw around, where she's kind of outside, not inside the shoulder, but outside the shoulder on the left. And there you can see it again. So that's one of the things you want to correct that before you correct anything else, because it just impacts basically that movement right there will impact everything kind of that happens behind it. And that's why we want to deal with it. So this actually looks pretty good. Particularly, I think we need to work on getting that where it's maybe not so much of a straight arm on the recovery. But if we're looking here, she's right at, you want to be in that 30 to 40 degree range on that recovery for distance swimmers. That looks really good. We could probably have the arm maybe a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more bent. Here on this side, particularly when she breathes, you can see that we go more into the kind of 50 degree range. So that probably needs to come down just a bit. Not rotate as much when she takes the breath to get the breath. You don't have to rotate the whole body. You just have to turn the head. And you can see kind of that, that crossing over right there. So if here's midline, you can see that she's coming really, really onto midline, just past it. Now she does a pretty good job of coming back out, but the momentum is still the momentum. All right, so here, left side looks pretty good. She's got this good pull. That might be kind of when we're breathing. Let's see if we can get the next one. Is it every breath? Yeah, we're probably going a little bit too far under there. Yeah, and that's partly the, you want to be about 100 to 110 degrees there. So that's partly the breath, and she's not paying attention to the pressure on that hand right there. So then as the body rotates, this rotates under, and then she loses some leverage on the water. That's why we want to keep it at that 30 to 40 degrees of rotation. Then we're not kind of getting into these extremes where we're giving up kind of really good angling on the water, or good pressure on the water. Let's see if that one's any better. They're all about the same. So then you see here on the right side, we're going a little bit wide outside the body on the pole. So there we are with that. So with that one, 144, you'd really rather see kind of something more like, about like that. Somewhere in there. So if we figure here's midline, you're skirting right at midline as you pull through. Okay, so we just did that position 11 drill. We did it over and over again. And we went through a bunch of it, actually, just to make sure that she had really the exact position. And you can see she's getting a little bit better as she's doing it, cueing with kind of keeping that core really engaged. And then you can see here's kind of some of the application towards the end, how everything starts to really drive forward. And you can even see how the hips have come up a little bit, and the feet are starting to come up a little bit. And that's the reason that you want to take care of that first, because it'll correct a lot of things that are going on behind the stroke, and you really won't know until what's going to change until you make that correction. So, as always, thank you for tuning in. If there are any questions about this analysis, please let me know, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions. And, hope to catch you at the next video.